Hey guys, it's Steve. I know it's been over a year since I've done my last video. A lot has happened in that year. As you can tell, there's obviously a new tank. We officially made our move. We're still renting, unfortunately, but this house in this area is much better than where we were at. Um, I wanted to start off by showing you the new tank. As you guys remember, I used to have a 120 planted, a small little 25-gallon reef tank, and a small little nano tank. We tore down the 120. You guys seen that video? By now you can tell I actually tore down the two nano tanks and sold those off to my local fish store and got some credit and purchased some things for the tank. I just wanted to give you guys a nice update of what's been going on, show you the new tank, and let you guys know that I'm going to be trying to post more videos more frequently. My wife got a big promotion at work, so I no longer have to go to work per se. I do still work at home as a graphic designer. I do independent projects, so it should free up a lot of time for me to be able to show you guys the tank and as it progresses, and some of the cool equipment that I plan on getting, the upgrades I plan on doing, and just the overall just to follow along with this tank and see where it progresses. Um, I'll pick you guys up in a minute and I'll show you the whole tank and what fish I'm keeping, the equipment that I'm using, the lights that I'm using. I'll talk about the schedule, all that, the controller that's on the tank. Um, I guess I should start off by telling you what kind of tank it is. It's a Redsea Reefer 250. It's a 55-gallon display. It's got a little 10-gallon sump. I got it in the black finish because it fits my room decor better. I really like this tank. I love this tank. It's one of my dream tanks. I've always, when I seen this thing in my local fish store, I had to have it. So this is the next tank that I purchased. I'm not going to say this is going to be the last tank I purchased because I do plan on going bigger because, as you know, with those fish tank guys, we're always looking to go bigger. The tank itself is rimless. It's got a center overflow. Uh, I did the scaping myself with dry rock. I started that with everything was dry rock, dry sand. The tank's about 3 or 4 months old. It's aging pretty nicely. Not fighting off too much algae or phosphates. My nitrates are a little high, but that's just because I kind of feed twice a day, 3 times a day, kind of heavily. But overall, the tank's in great condition. It's progressing nicely. I don't have a ton of corals in there yet. That's also because of the light that I have. I can't really do a lot of the corals that I necessarily want to try yet. I'll get to light in a minute. But as you can see, I have, some fish in there. I have about, I think there's 6 or 7 fish in there. I have 3 chromies, 1 firefish, 2 clowns. I have 1 purple clown and a maroon clown. He kind of hides in the back. He's coming around the front in front of the overflow right there. I also have a mimic tang down in, right here. He's a juvenile. He looks like a yellow tang, but he's not. He's a mimic tang. I know he gets quite large. He gets to be about 8 inches. He's just temporary. He's either gonna, if he gets too big, my local fish store said he'll take him back and hold him for me until I upgrade my tank, which obviously I told you it's in the future. But for now, he should be fine. He's eating great. He grazes on algae. I throw in a couple of nori strips, and he eats pellets. He eats, frozen foods. He's just a little pig. He eats everything. He's doing really well. I hope he grows up to really, to a beautiful fish. He's not going to look anything like he looks right now when he gets older. He's all yellow right now. As he progresses and gets older, he's going to develop a little blue spot on his eye, and then his body will change to a brown color with like red highlights and a little bit of yellow highlights. So he's going to be a really, really good fish, a really beautiful fish once he gets older. Once we get the larger tank, I'm going to stick with the Redsea tanks. I really like the way they're designed. Very good quality tanks. They come with what I need, and it just makes it a simple, nice package. If I do upgrade, it's probably going to be to the 2 sizes bigger, probably closer to 100 gallons. Like I said, this tank is only 65 gallons. The corals that I have are some LPS and some softies, like some euphyllias. I have a nice torch coral over there. I have some frog spawns right here. I have a little mushroom garden, a couple little zoas, some polys, and another hammer. And then I have a war coral. I'll pick you guys up and I'll show you all those corals when I get the chance. The equipment I'm running 3 power heads in this tank. They're all little cheap Jabo PP4s or RW8s or whatever they are. Nothing special. They get the job done. They're not loud. Um, I mean, they're cheap for what you pay for them, but to be honest, you can't really beat them. They're really cheap. For right now, they're doing a great job. I do plan on upgrading those. I'm either going to go with two PP10s from Ecotech, or I might go with one gyre. I'm not sure yet. I've still been doing research on those. But that's probably going to be the next purchase for the tank, is going to be the upgrade to the power heads. It's not that I don't like these. I just am not a big fan of having a bunch of wires in the tank, and having three, power heads with wires in the tank kind of irritates me, the aesthetics wise. Um, but the light I'm running, and I'll show you that in a minute, is a pretty unique light. I haven't seen a lot of people run it, especially in the United States. It's called a Z-Light UFO. It's a 96 watt LED. It's pretty comparable to the Kessel's. I do like the shine of the light that it gives off. I do like the the customability of it. You have to purchase a Wi-Fi link for it, and then you can, mess around with it on your phone, which is really cool. I have a controller on this tank. It's a Reef Keeper. The reason why I went with Reef Keeper, because it was really cheap. I got it. I forget where I got it, but it was just on sale, so I was like, I can't beat that for what it is. I'm not using it for the life support of the system. I only use it to monitor the temperature and the pH, and that's really it. And it's just a redundancy thing for the heater. I have, obviously the heater comes with its own controller, but I don't really trust those. So I have a backup with the Reef Keeper. If it gets too hot, it shuts itself off. If it gets too cold, it shuts itself off, and it gives me an audible alarm, and it flashes. So that's all you can really ask for. I mean, it wakes me up. I've had it wake me up once because the tank got too cold, and I had to adjust the heater. So it does its job in that sense. I don't know if that's going to be upgraded or not. I've been looking at some of the Neptune Apex stuff. I'm not entirely sure this tank's going to be that high tech or not. So I'm on the fence with it, but I'm looking into it. I have a Reef Octopus Classic 110 Space Saver skimmer in this tank, and I'm running a bio pellet media reactor from Reef Octopus, and I'll show you those in a minute. Right now I'm running the stock auto top off that comes with Redsea. That's going to be updated and upgraded. But besides that, I mean, that's really the tank. That's the new tank. I'm pretty happy with the way the scape came out. I'm really happy with the way the corals are opening up and growing. This poly came to me as one poly. There's 3 heads on it now, so I'm pretty happy with that. This also came as like 2 or 3 little zoas, and there's obviously clearly more than 2 or 3. My mushrooms have doubled in size. These 2 have doubled in size. That's getting ready to split off again. He's split into 3 heads since I've had him, and the world coral is finally starting to encrust. The fish, like I said, 1 firefish, 3 chromies, 2 clowns, and then the mimic tang. I have some red leg hermit crabs and some snails. That's really it for the cleanup crew. The tank's pretty simple right now. It's still pretty young. I do plan on, like I said, plan on adding a bunch more things. Plan on upgrading a few things, and that's it. So I'll just pick you guys up right now. I'll show you around the tank, and here we go. Okay, well, there's the little mimic tang. That's his cave. He likes to hide in there a lot. But obviously he's not too shy. He likes to pick at all the rocks. There's my maroon clown. There's my percola clown, and there's a couple of my chromies. The guy is dark colored. He's kind of the boss of the chromies. The little maroon clown, the clowns don't mess with anybody. They're really good. The tang doesn't really mess with anybody either, surprisingly. I thought he was going to be a little more aggressive, but he's not. Obviously my little firefish, he's just chill as usual. Just kind of hangs out in the middle of the tank all day. There's the war coral, as you can see up there. It's finally starting to crust. My beautiful torch coral. My big hermit crab. A few snails down the ground, as you can see. My little hammer back there. Like I said, the frog spawns. Good looking. I got them small so they could grow in. I plan on making this whole left side nothing but euphyllias, like frog spawn, hammers, anchors, Duncans, stuff like that. I can show you guys there's the mushroom garden starting, so it's looking pretty good. The zoas, really wish I could get a gel filter and show you guys the colors. The polys, I don't know if you can see the little guy right there next to him. There's 2 other heads. So yeah, everything's doing really well. And so I wanted to show you guys the light like I was talking about. This is the UFO light, and it's a really sleek, cool looking light. Fan cooling. It comes with the mounts. It's all metals, all steel mounts, all powder coated. Really good quality stuff. It's a really, really good, light. And I do plan on picking up another one of those. I'm going to bring you guys down now, and I'll show you guys the sump area. And, what I'm running down here. So here's the sump. My Reef Octopus skimmer. It's running a little wet right now. It's because I just cleaned it and have to adjust it back to where it was. Here's the media reactor. My little ferret cinnamon. I'm running a Jabo return pump, DC return pump. And like I said, no complaints. It's not loud. It's it does its job. It's all the controllers for the pumps, which the wire's a mess, but I have everything zip tied, and I know what color goes to what, and I have everything labeled, and that's going to be cleaned up after I get the next auto top-off container in here, because I'm not going to keep this one. I think I'm going to be making this into a refugium for my pods. So that's the sump area. Just a small little light. Pretty neat, pretty organized, pretty it's just simple and easy. There's a side shot from this angle. There's the the little controller. Like I said, it's there to monitor, which is not going to focus. It's there to monitor my heat and my pH. That's really it. So like I said, the tank. I love the look of the tank. I'm very happy with the tank, and I'm just happy with the fish and how everything's progressing. I'll be doing more updates probably